Alright, let's dive into something that's been on my mind lately, Alan Ritchson's take on Jack Reacher. Now, if you've seen the show, you know Reacher is this towering, no-nonsense force of nature. But here's the twist, Ritchson doesn't see him as just a human tank. No, he compares Reacher to an alligator. And honestly, it's genius. But let's break this down because it's not just a cool analogy, it's a window into how Ritchson approaches this character. First off, the alligator comparison isn't about brute strength, though Reacher's got that in spades. What makes this really interesting is the stillness, the quiet menace. Think about it, an alligator just sits there, barely moving, but you know it's dangerous. That's Reacher. He's not constantly flexing or shouting, he's observing, internalizing, and then, boom, he strikes. Personally, I think this is what sets Ritchson's portrayal apart. It's not just about being physically imposing, it's about the psychological weight he brings to the role. Now, here's where it gets even more fascinating. Ritchson admitted he was panicking during season 1 because he felt like he wasn't doing enough. He'd call the showrunner, Nick Santora, and ask, "Am I interesting?" And Santora's response: "Reacher's an alligator." What this really suggests is that sometimes less is more. Reacher doesn't need to be constantly in motion or talking to be compelling. His presence alone is enough. From my perspective, this is a masterclass in restraint, something a lot of actors, and even creators could learn from. But let's take a step back and think about it. Why an alligator specifically? I mean, you could compare Reacher to a bear or a lion, right? What many people don't realize is that alligators have this primal, almost prehistoric vibe. They are survivors, cold-blooded and efficient. That's Reacher. He's not just a fighter, he's a predator with a purpose. And the way Ritchson embodies that, the stillness, the calculated movements, it's like he's channeling something ancient. A detail I find fascinating is how this analogy ties into Reacher's lack of emotional expression. He's not a talker, and that's intentional. It's not about being stoic, it's about being deliberate. This raises a deeper question, though. How do you play a character who's so internal? Ritchson's trick is to trust the gaps. He lets the audience fill in the blanks, and that's where the tension comes from. It's almost like he's saying, "You don't need to see everything I'm thinking, just know that I'm always thinking." In my opinion, that's what makes Reacher so captivating. He's not just a character, he's a mystery, and Ritchson's alligator analogy is the key to unlocking it. Now, looking ahead to season 4, I'm curious to see how this plays out. The book it's based on, Gone Tomorrow, is one of the few told from Reacher's POV. So, how will Ritchson balance that internal monologue with the alligator-like stillness? Personally, I think this is where his performance could really shine. He'll have to give us just enough to understand Reacher's thoughts without breaking the character's quiet intensity. If he pulls it off, it'll be a masterstroke. So, here's my closing thought: Reacher isn't just a character, he's a study in minimalism. Ritchson's alligator analogy isn't just a cool way to describe him, it's a philosophy. It's about knowing when to move and when to wait, when to speak and when to stay silent. And honestly, that's a lesson we could all apply to our lives. So, next time you watch Reacher, don't just see a guy who beats up bad guys. See the alligator, patient, powerful, and always in control. What do you think? Does this change how you view the character? Let me know in the comments.